Michael, you picked up a late point. How would you assess that one this afternoon?
I think when you're behind in the game and you're pushing as we were, it's brilliant to get a goal at that stage of the game. So it's a very important point. It's a good point for us. I thought over the 90 minutes we certainly deserved to take something from the game, but ultimately, it was disappointing to lose the goal when we did. I thought we'd settled into the game quite well. We looked a little bit not sluggish, but maybe a little bit weak physically in the middle of the pitch at times in the first half. Missed a few tackles, missed too many tackles, and that subsequently cost us in relation to the goal. But I think overall, as I say, it's a good point for us. Difficult situation playing against a very good team, and we're delighted with the point.
Did you sense from the game that it was two sides that had a little less preparation than normal when you considered the pre-season that you had?
Yeah, I think there's aspects of that. I think, physically I thought we were strong towards the end. I thought the substitutions gave us a renewed energy, which was positive for us. And I think also, but we lacked at times mentally a little bit of a cutting edge. Our decision making at times in the final third could have been better. Our decision making on the ball could have been better, and that's natural. This is the first competitive game they've had for over 3 months, so that'll improve game by game. But as I say, there was a lot more to be positive about than negative. And I also think in these games, with the scenario behind closed doors, it's difficult if you go behind. And Reading are good, they're well organised. At times they sat in and they hit us on the counter attack, and they have a great threat in that, and at times they were dominant on the ball. But I thought second half, we were the more dominant team from basically start to finish, and we warned at the point that we got.
In terms of the opening goal, what was your view on it? It appeared to go out of play.
Well, the ball was out of play, yeah. I mean, even Mark said that. He was standing beside us. The ball's clearly out of play. So, I mean, the linesman missed a very poor decision. Look, at the end of the day, they still have to throw the ball in and they still have to build a goal from there. But it was a bit disappointing to miss that aspect of it in relation to the goal. When you can see the goal like that, you do look at those things. But yeah, we have to live with that. Look, we can't be too hard on the officials because they've not refereed games in three months either. So they will miss things. But overall, as I say, I don't think it was, the game was decided by anything that the officials did.
You grew into the game slowly, and the introduction of James McLean seems to give you a fresh impetus in that second half.
It did. James trained very hard, but I think at times he's looked a little bit sluggish. Obviously, he was injured, so he's not played since Preston. I thought in the Derby game he looked a wee bit sluggish, and we went with the front three that started against Hull. It was, fantastic for us, and we knew that we would have the ability to bring James into the game, and he gave us, straight away. He gave us a bit of energy, put some good balls in the box. I thought we possibly should have scored earlier with the one that's, just great defensive clearance. But yeah, that's what we need. We need players that will come in and make a difference. I said to them, it's a 16-man game. I would imagine most of these games will prove to be 16-man games, and with that being the case, obviously, we need players to come in and make an impact. And I thought, to be fair, all the subs did that.
And the goal at the end was a reward for your perseverance, wasn't it?
Well, it was. You have to, at times, because of, I suppose, a little bit of quality, which is down to a little bit of anxiety in our play, but obviously down to the layoff as well that we've had. Sometimes you have to go a little bit longer. We couldn't at times play through Reading. They got men back and behind the ball, so we had to go at times a little bit more direct. And Sam Vokes is a great outlet for that. We got around the ball, and we played off that at times. So we had to mix the game up a little bit. But as I say, it's nice to score off the set piece. It was great delivery from young Lass. There was a lot on that, so it shows his character. And I thought, he grew into the game, and I thought second half he gets stronger and stronger. So a really good performance from him also.
Ryan Shawcross obviously had to come off at half time. What's the news relating to him?
It's too early. It looks like he's just tweaked his groin, maybe as a doctor, I think. The signs are that it's not going to be anything long term or anything like that. We'll just have to see how he is tomorrow. He wanted to try and continue. We kept him on for that 2 minutes because we wanted to get to half time without having to make a substitution, which allowed us the 3 subs that the rules allow you to make in the second half, and that was a bonus for us really, that he managed to get to half time. But it is a blow. It's been, I feel for Ryan, it's been so stop to start for him. He does everything. He's a fantastic professional, but at this minute in time, his body's just letting him down a wee bit. But that's something obviously that we'll make sure that we work with him and get him right, because he's such an important player. And Danny coming in, it's never nice to not start, but Danny came in and I thought he was very strong second half.
The draw obviously now makes it 5 games unbeaten, and you now enter an important set of fixtures, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's difficult to talk about momentum in a sense because obviously the gap between game 4 and game 5 is substantial. But I thought it was important not to lose the game today, and then we have obviously a huge week ahead of us next week with a 3-game week, and obviously two massive games at home against teams that are all around us. So big week ahead.